UN Secretary General Antonio Gutteres has called for an immediate ceasefire between Israel and Hamas in a meeting with Egypt's foreign minister in Cairo. The UN chief discussed ways to de-escalate the conflict. Gutteres also called on Hamas to release hostages immediately. He urged Israel to allow immediate entry of humanitarian aid to Gaza while referring to the Rafah crossing as the only hope and the lifeline for the people of Gaza. The UN chief stated that no solution is possible without the creation of an independent Palestine state alongside Israel. The Pentagon has said a U.S. Navy warship in the Red Sea intercepted 3 cruise missiles and several drones launched by the Houthi movement from Yemen, potentially towards Israel. Washington is on heightened alert for activity by Iran-backed groups as regional tensions soar amid the Israel-Hamas war. The Pentagon said the USS Carney destroyer was operating in the northern Red Sea on Thursday. Pentagon spokesperson has said they had no certainty of the target of the drones and missiles, but they seemed potentially bound for Israel. The U.S. has stationed a significant amount of naval power in the Middle East over the past week, including 2 aircraft carriers, support ships, and about 2,000 marine troops. A new video obtained from a dashcam shows heavily harmed Hamas militants firing at festival goers at the site of the Nature Party Music Festival. These people were among the first targets of the militant surprise attack that took place on October 7th. The Hamas militants can be seen aiming their weapons and shooting at fleeing festival goers while urging each other to save ammunition. The location of the videos was verified by road signs and road layouts that matched verified drone footage filmed at the same location and satellite imagery. The same cars are also visible in the verified drone footage showing aftermath of the site. A day after visiting Israel amid the ongoing war against Hamas, U.S. President Joe Biden delivered a rare speech from the Oval Office calling for Congress to boost military aid to Ukraine and Israel. Recapping his trip to Israel, Biden highlighted his meetings with Israeli leaders and with the families of those held hostage in Gaza. Biden said that he also spoke with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, reiterating that the U.S. remains committed to the Palestinian people's right to dignity and to self-determination. According to reports, Biden is set to ask Congress for $60 billion for Ukraine and $14 billion for Israel. Reports also suggest that half of the $60 billion Biden is requesting for Ukraine would go toward replacing and modernizing U.S. weapons stocks. The U.S. Pentagon now plans to send 2 Iron Dome missile defense systems to Israel in its fight with Hamas. U.S. had previously purchased the 2 Iron Dome missiles from Israel and will now send them back to join the Israeli military to defend itself against inbound missiles. A Pentagon spokesperson further added that other artillery ammunition alongside critical equipment will also be flown over to Israel in the following days. And apart from deployment of Iron Dome missile defense system, America's first new shipment of armored vehicles arrived at Ben Gurion International Airport on Thursday. The armored vehicles will join the Israeli Defense Forces and are aimed to replace the Israeli military cars damaged in the fighting against Hamas, confirmed a ministry spokesperson. The U.S. Department of State has issued a rare worldwide caution travel advisory, telling Americans to be on alert everywhere they go overseas. Now, due to increased tensions and the potential for terror attacks as Israel's war against Hamas rages, the notice issued Thursday advises American citizens abroad to stay alert in locations frequented by tourists. The issuance of the worldwide caution alert is a significant message amid protests that have erupted throughout West Asia in response to the Israel-Hamas war, with many demonstrators targeting U.S. diplomatic compounds. There has been a widespread anti-America protests in West Asia that included a 24-hour siege of the American embassy in Beirut. Israeli ambassador to Turkey has left Ankara along with other Israeli diplomats. The Israeli embassy declined to comment on the reports. Earlier this week, Israel's National Security Council issued warning against travel to Turkey, citing fears that Israelis could be targeted by anti-Israeli elements. It also urged Israeli citizens in Turkey to leave as soon as possible. Following the warning, Israeli airlines arranged flights from Istanbul late on Wednesday for Israelis wanting to leave Turkey. Turkish protesters have staged many anti-Israel demonstrations, and Turkey has declared 3 days of mourning following a blast that killed a large number of Palestinians at a Gaza hospital. Russia's defense ministry has released footage of the country's avant-garde silo-based intercontinental ballistic missile system. The ministry footage showed the vast missile being loaded into a silo launcher. At Russia's missile facility, the process was set to last several hours. The ministry said that the implementation of measures planned for 2023 will increase combat capabilities of Russian strategic nuclear forces. Amid the ongoing dispute over the murder of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, Canada has now withdrawn 41 of its diplomats from India. Canadian Foreign Minister made this announcement, adding that Ottawa will not take any retaliatory steps. She further added that Canada will continue to defend international law, which applies to all nations, and will continue to engage with India. Now, 21 Canadian diplomats have left India. Relations between India and Canada have dipped to historic lows since Prime Minister Justin Trudeau last month publicly linked Indian intelligence to the killing of Nijjar. Nijjar, who advocated secession from India, was wanted by Indian authorities for terrorism and conspiracy to commit murder. New Delhi has dismissed Trudeau's suspicions on its agents being linked to the murder of Nijjar as absurd. The Ukrainian parliament has overwhelmingly voted to advance legislation seen as effectively banning the Ukrainian Orthodox Church over its ties to Moscow. However, the church has maintained that it is fully independent and supportive of Ukraine's fight against Russian invaders. It has denied the charges leveled at it by Kyiv and said the draft law would be unconstitutional. The law would ban the activities of religious organizations affiliated with centers of influence. Ukraine's security service said on Thursday 68 criminal cases, including accusations of treason, had been initiated against representatives of the church since Russia's invasion. Hardline conservative Jim Jordan told his fellow Republicans he will suspend his bid to serve as Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives and back Republican Patrick McHenry to fill the role on a temporary basis. The House has been without a leader for more than 2 weeks, and Jordan has twice failed to secure the 217 votes needed to claim the Speaker's position. This comes as Jordan faces opposition from Democrats and more than 20 of his fellow Republicans. Republican hardliners have expressed outrage at the deal, and according to reports at a closed-door meeting with other Republicans, Jordan said that he would not seek a third vote to win the post and instead will back a plan to empower McHenry to hold the post until January. The US Army has charged Travis King with desertion after he fled to North Korea and was held there for 2 months. The Army's case against King, which has not been previously reported, includes 8 distinct charges under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Additionally, he has been accused of soliciting a Snapchat user to knowingly and willingly produce child pornography in July 2023. Furthermore, insubordination for leaving base after hours and drinking alcohol in violation of Army regulations are among the charges against King. For weeks, the Army has deferred questions regarding potential disciplinary action against King. Instead, it said that their priority was ensuring that the King received proper care after spending 2 months in detention. Afghanistan's acting Commerce Minister, Haji Azizi, has said the Taliban administration wants to formally join China's Belt and Road Infrastructure Initiative. He added that Taliban will soon send a technical team to China for talks, despite no country formally recognizing the Taliban since it took over the country in 2021. Beijing has sought to develop ties with its administration. It is believed that Afghanistan could offer China a wealth of coveted mineral resources. China last month became the first country to appoint an ambassador to Kabul since the Taliban took power. Niger's junta said it had foiled an escape attempt by ousted President Mohamed Bazoum. Bazoum has been imprisoned by the military since a July 26th coup. The escape bid failed and the main actors and some of the accomplices were arrested. The interim authorities said that Bazoum and his family and some of the security forces were involved in the escape. Junta spokesperson did not say where they were being held now. An investigation has been launched. The escape plan had involved Bazoum getting to a hideout on the outskirts of the capital, Niamey, and then flying out on helicopters belonging to a foreign power towards Nigeria. Bazoum has refused to resign since the July 26th coup. Until now, he had been held at his residence in the heart of the presidential palace along with his wife Haziza and son Salem. In Madrid, Storm Helene unleashed heavy rain, forcing the cancellation of trains and disruptions on subway lines. The north of Spain is still on orange alert due to strong gusts of wind. Retiro Park was closed due to strong winds and record rain levels were recorded in that area. Water was seen cascading down the staircase of a metro station, making it impossible for commuters to enter. A few metro lines remained closed for hours while regional trains and high-velocity lines suffered delays. A severe weather warning has been issued by Britain's Met Office as Storm Babbitt makes a landfall in Scotland. According to the police, a body of a 57-year-old woman has been recovered from a river Esk after reports of someone being swept away. A video has been making rounds on social media and it shows heavy rain and gusts of wind hitting the Breton town. Hundreds of people are being evacuated due to fears that River Esk will overflow during storm. People in more than 400 properties and in Angus and in the villages of Tannadice and Finnovan have been told to evacuate, with flood defences expected to be breached. The Met Office has issued a rare red weather alert warning. According to the British Geological Survey, Storm Babbitt can cause landslides. The Macallan Adami 1926, a rare Scotch whisky, is to be auctioned in London next month and could fetch an estimated price of up to $1.4 million. After being aged in sherry casks for 60 years, only 40 bottles of the Macallan 1926 were bottled in 1986. The 40 bottles were reportedly not made available for purchase, but rather offered to the Macallan's top clients. 12 of the remaining bottles have their labels designed by Italian painter Valerio Adami, while a further 12 were labeled by pop artist Sir Peter Blake. One of the Adami-labeled bottles is thought to have been destroyed during a Japanese earthquake in 2011. The IMF mission to Sri Lanka has said that the International Monetary Fund was looking for a strong budget and narrow a deficit from the country as it seeks funding to bridge the gap between government revenue and expenditure. Sri Lanka has been struggling to increase public revenue, with the IMF projecting a 15% shortfall this year. An improved performance for next year is necessary for Sri Lanka to get past the first review of its program with the global lender. Sri Lanka reached a staff-level agreement with the IMF to release the second tranche of about $330 million, but still needs approval from the IMF management and executive board. US pharmaceutical company Pfizer gained unconditional EU antitrust approval for its proposed $43 billion acquisition of cancer drug. Pfizer announced the deal in March, its largest purchase in a string of recent acquisitions, thanks to a once-in-a-lifetime cash windfall from its COVID-19 vaccine and treatment. The European Commission said that the deal would not significantly reduce competition in the 27-country European Union, nor would it have a negative impact on prices. Japan's Toyota Motor, the world's largest automaker by sales, said it had signed an agreement to adopt Tesla's electric vehicle charging technology from 2025. Ford Motor, General Motors and Nissan are among the other automakers that have adopted Tesla's North American charging standard, taking the Elon Musk-led company's superchargers closer to becoming the industry standard at the expense of the rival combined charging system. Existing owners of Toyota and Lexus vehicles equipped with CCS will be offered access to an adapter to enable North American Charging Standard or NACS.